Right, so it was just the Mark IV put back together just briefly, just to get a bit of a game plan on this one really. Wanted to find out exactly what we've got, what parts we've got, what we're working with really. It's not an urgent job this one, so it won't be top of the list for a little while just yet. But yeah, just starting to think about the plan for this one in my head really. So I think what we'll end up doing, excuse this. Okay. Yeah, what we'll end up doing on this one is probably we can do a lot of the prep work in any case, regardless of the welding. We can start the prep work. Yeah, and then the welding actually can be done right at the end because that's just on areas like this. So the main bodywork we can get cracking on that. I think we will start probably next week on this one. We'll see. Got lots of other things going on at the moment as well, and like I said, not an urgent one this one. But obviously it's just it's on the list of things to do as well, so we'll see. Excuse the mess as always. I can't quite remember where I got to on the videos, but the rear bumper now is done on this one. Done at this stage in any case. Rough filled. We are going to put these into poly as well, I think. Fiberglass always, so they're, oh, you won't be able to tell on here, but they're rippled ever so slightly. And I think my whole aim for this car now is to try and get this looking one of the straightest ones of these as possible. I've seen so many of them now at the shows, or if you see them online, they look absolutely fantastic. Even some of the really, really special show ones, they look great until you look at the way that these sort of areas fit on them. And they're really not great. They're not good at all. So I have taken it upon myself now to try and get this to be one of the straightest ones in the country, I suppose. It's not going to be perfect still, it's not going to be an absolute show car, that's not what I was in for, but we are going the extra length to try and make these body kits fit as nice as they possibly can, so we'll poly all of the fiberglass parts just to get them a bit straighter. Obviously we did the finishing work on the side skirts to make them fit to start with, and then it's just a case now of building up the shape again, where we've obviously had to cut and splice various bits and pieces out, so yeah, build that shape back up. That's what we're working on at the moment. Anyway, like I said, I can't quite remember where I got to on the previous videos, but yeah, cracking along with this one. Got a busy old week of things. We've got plenty of things lined up outside now as well. I'll show you this one quickly. Enzo's helping us unpack, as always. You can't say we don't get some variety in the shop anyway. So this one's just turned up this morning. Just a quick, well, I say quick, wing repair basically. It has got some bubbling issues going on here as well, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. We'll have to dig that out and see if that needs going any further with. I believe it's got a big metal plate underneath, which is probably going to be the cause of it all. And I don't think the customer wants to go too far with this one, so we'll dig it back, have a look and see what the situation is. Go from there really. Yeah. Busy old time of things. Okay, so we got a bit more progress on the S14. So we're basically just using the car actually as a mould at the moment. So we had some tape behind here. Fiberglass doesn't stick to the tape, so we've been able to build up the edges. I ground them down because it just wasn't fitting how I wanted it to. So we've ground all of these edges down and then put tape behind, built it back up with fiberglass. We'll reinforce it from the back again afterwards, but to start with, we're just trying to get all this lining up nice and flush. Again, looks really messy at the moment, but all of this gets sanded off. Same issue with this side again. We had an issue with it rubbing on the side skirt on the door, so we've had to grind that back, just a tiny fill to skim it off nicely there. And then I don't think I had a photo, but a big old gap here, so we filled all that in just to make it look flush. And same again with the top. yeah, use the car as a mould essentially, so it's all perfect fit for this car only. Go from there really. And then I've got TIG. It's just sanding down the wing off the car that we've got next door. You can see it's all just rust underneath the filler work from previous body shop basically. So get all of the filler work removed, back to bare metal where we need to. We'll epoxy it and then refill and yeah, go from there. I think I'm finally getting somewhere with the side skirts on this one now. It's actually been quite a difficult job. You've got the 3 different shapes going on here, so they're all flat, but I don't know, it's just been a tricky one to do and to get right. Obviously still working on the edges, tidying up the top edge and all of these curves, front and rear, still to be done, but I'll do that when the side skirt's back off the car again. Sharpened up this point here because that was all over the place, so that just needs smoothing down and softening up now, but that's all going to look really nice when that's done. Like I said, yeah, hopefully I've got the proportions right. Difficult to tell again at this stage when it's in so many different colours, but I think I've done what we can on this one for now. I think as well the next thing to do, original arches like this, new ones like this obviously, so I think I will end up trimming just a little bit of a section. They're not normally done like that on these, but I don't think it looks very good like that, so I'm going to trim a section off there, front and rear, to make it look a little bit more like it's meant to be. And then whole side skirt comes off the car again, we'll finish up the edges, and then all the body kit parts can go into poly finally. We should be one step closer. Right then, so we've got these parts loaded up in the booth. We've actually had to go a lot further on these than anticipated. As you can see, all of this white here is actually, we've not primed it yet, this is all filler, but it's glaze. So it just needed a whole skim of glaze. After we'd got rid of the rust spots, the rust was actually, I can't remember if I said in previous videos, the rust was basically forming underneath the filler. So filler had been put on top of bare metal and it's just rusting from underneath the filler. So that's why it's bubbling out. So we have had to go to the extent of ripping all that out. And starting from fresh, obviously when we've ripped the previous filler work out, we've got to refill it again, unfortunately. And with such an old wing and such an old panel like this, it's really, really warped, rippled, everything going on. So we've just ended up re-skimming it, giving it a quick skim of glaze. Not really what it was in for at all. Again, it's just in for a tiny bit of damage down here, but obviously we just can't leave it. We can't let it leave the shop with other imperfections. So I couldn't localize it, sadly, but still. It'll come out nicely, this one. We've obviously done the chips on this as well. So both now into epoxy again on the breakthrough areas, as per usual, and then into high build, sand it down one last time. and they'll be good to go then. Morning guys, right, so that's the BSA part done then. It's come out quite nicely. So you'll remember from the previous videos, we were only just actually meant to be fixing a small scratch down here, but we've gone ahead and done the whole lot. The bubbling wise, there's a couple of little pinholes that we've still got to take care of, but in general, it's come out pretty nice. It is still dented on this panel. We didn't touch that really, apart from a few of the larger issues. But yeah, it's all come out nicely. And then we also have, for a couple of special little boys, some quad parts. So Tig's son, Rowie, nice classic blue. These come out really nice. This is a really nice colour actually. I love this on my cars, to be fair. And then some of you will probably recognise this colour. No prizes for guessing whose this one's for. Kayla's son Arlo, it's his birthday coming up. So we are painting a quad the same colour as Kayla's Golf, and the wheels and that little front piece that I showed you earlier, they are both going chrome as well to match Kayla's Golf as well. Hopefully that's the plan. I have tried these chrome wheels before. They didn't come out chrome at all. It's the first time I've ever used the chrome paint. It's very, it's an unusual process to paint it, let's say that, to say the least. But these get baked now, and then I'm straight back into the booth afterwards to give it 5 extremely light dust coats of the chrome paint. The flash off point is absolutely ridiculous in between. I think it's something like 4 hours. So we'll give that a go. Hopefully the next time you see these will be chrome. Yeah, we always like to push the boundaries a little bit in the shop, see what we can do. But yeah, like I said, Rowie, Arlo, 2 little boys, going to be absolutely tearing it up with these 2 quads, hopefully quite soon. Okay, so like I said with these then, so they come out really nice gloss black at the moment, which is exactly how I intended, and then the chrome paint apparently just gets dusted on, like super fine, almost dry coats, which is not how we normally paint anything. So I'm gonna give that a go now. See if we get on any better this time round. Got a bit of success with these. They're not chrome by any means, but I never thought they were going to be. They are as good as I can get them. They are messy, so excuse that. They are quite nibby, quite messy. But at the end of the day, they're going on a kid's quad bike, so I'm not too fussed about them. And like I said, it is just a new way of doing things, a bit of a new process that we're trying out. They're not chrome by any means. But yeah, pretty good for what they are. I think they'll give a decent effect. Yeah, for what I was hoping for really. So about as good as I can get them, I would say. We'll call that a success. So on to the next. I don't normally show things like this on the channel, but I can't help myself because it's so bad for whatever reason. I think I'll show this one. So obviously, this whole bottom section has been redone in the past. See just how rippled it is from the side. Horrendously rippled, a lot of previous repairs going on. But the strangest thing, they seem to have all this patchwork all over it. I don't actually understand what's going on with it. We tried to polish it earlier just to have a look and see what colour we need to make, because again, we don't know what colour this is. So we were going to spectro it. Directly you start polishing other sides of the van, the colour completely changes. You can see it there. It's just patchy all over the place. It's almost like whatever they put on is actually dripping off. Never seen anything quite like this before, but it's, again, things don't quite show up how bad they actually are on the camera, and I can assure you it's horrendous. So this one now, for what was just originally a small localized area down here, unfortunately we're doing the entire side, both sides, which also means as well we've got to rip out the previous filler work and all of this sort of thing. Sadly, to get from a to a decent starting point, unfortunately. It just has to be done on something like this because we don't know what we're working with. And again, this side is just as bad. So yeah, entire respray for this one, bottom half only. Turned into quite a substantial job. from what it originally was anyway. Right then, so that's the T5 back into the booth. I think you saw in the previous clip, I didn't go into a voiceover on it, but there's an enormous amount of filler in here. So previous repairs, as we knew about, but a lot of filler in there, unfortunately. So we have dug it all out. I've explained to the customer, sadly, in instances like this, there's just nothing I can do, really, in terms of making it a great deal better. So we've dug it all out. Back to bare metal, treated the bare metal with some epoxy as always, and then refilled it with an appropriate filler, which in this instance is fiberglass filler, so a couple of skims of fiber, and then obviously building up the shape with our normal filler afterwards. So yeah, it's not the best way of doing things, it's just an improve only sort of thing on this, but again, as we said, not entirely sure what's happened to this fan, to be fair, in the past, but some fairly substandard work's been done to it. Same on this side, we've had to, you can see the extent that we've had to go to. I'm going to be spray polishing the entire sides now, so from about there to here in any case, on both sides, and we'll get it as flat as we possibly can. Again, I have explained to the customer, it's not going to be dead straight, it is still going to be warped and a little bit rippled, as to be fair, these vans are from factory in any case. But I just always feel that because they're such big flat areas, they just stand out more to me when they are rippled. But obviously in this case, it's rippled because of the previous poor repair works. So we'll try and rectify that as best as I possibly can. But yeah, just bear in mind, improve only on this one. And the customer's happy with that in any case. So we're doing it to that said budget. Okay, so that's Roe's quad done. Just a little bit of stone guard on the bottom of these ones. I think the main reason we did these really was just because the yellow really didn't look good against the blue. Obviously it gives it more protection as well, but it doesn't need it. It's a kid's quad at the end of the day, but yeah, more for just the easiest way to get a bit of black on there really, to make it look a bit better. Unmask it then, and put this one back together. Ranger bonnet, front bumper repairs. I'll show you next door quickly as well. We've had a bit of a disjointed, all over the place week, but we're getting there. Okay, so obviously I didn't show you through to next door. I think I just forgot, to be honest, but instead have these photos of the motorcycle fairing that we repaired a good 2-3 weeks ago now. Customers just recently put the motorcycle back together and sent these photos through to me. Really appreciative of that, actually, to see the fairing back on the bike. We never saw the bike in person. Obviously, we just had the fairing itself, but yeah, he's over the moon with how it's come out. Really happy. So we are happy as well. Yeah, looks good. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to leave the video there. Bit of a lengthy one, but catch you all next week.